I'm doing a quick Lowrance video about the water level offset that you can kind of do on Lowrance as well as it'll let you. I've got the HDS1, HDS8 and a Gen 1, and that's the software latest version I've got. And here you can see that I'm on Grand Lake. This is the Honey Creek area, and I've set my options here to show 18 feet depth level only. Go to kind of a familiar spot here. For anybody who fishes Grand Lake and Honey Creek area, they've probably stopped here and made a couple casts. I'm going to use that area just to kind of describe how I got to this point. But I also want to let you know this is not the same aspect you're going to get with a hummingbird, which I found out is pretty cool. Hummingbird can tailor their water level offset directly to the map, and they can also highlight depth, the depth that the angler chooses in 1 foot increments at any depth. They don't have to choose 6, 18, 30, or 60. So, unfortunately, this is as good as it gets with Lowrance, with the HDS8 GEN1s. The Gen 2s and the touch technology might have a little bit better. I get a lot of my information off of Bass Boat Central. And as you can see here, I've got some directions that I'm going to try to follow as best I can and show you some options that I've come up with. And hit chart options here. The best thing I've found is, I'm going to show you a couple different things. What I've done, you can mess with a couple different things, and I've got the contour depth to only show 18 feet. I'm going to go to all and kind of give you the look and feel of that here. So that's all. Then let me take this to safety depth off. And my options are 6, 18, 30, and 60. So if I this is what the map looks like without any distinction of what water level I want to target. Still gives you good detail. You have to zoom in quite a ways to see the distinctions in the contours. If you're out here, maybe you're motoring around, you can tell that it's nice to have that color distinction when you're motoring around, because sometimes it's hard to distinguish between 1 foot contour lines. It's nice to have the detail, but your eyes will relate better to the color. And if I go to my menu, which I've got quick keys at the bottom, and go to my settings, depth contour, safety depth is what I can use on my Gen 1s. Say I'm targeting, let's say 18 to 15 feet of water. That's nice because it highlights that 18 feet of water, but if I'm covering 10 feet, I've got to either do some math or figure that I'm looking at maybe 2/3 of the blue from the shoreline. That's to target the depth. If I want to say the water was down 10 feet, I technically don't have a water level offset on the Gen 1s. When I follow the directions from Bass Boat Central, it says menu, chart options, and go to view, and then it says depth highlight. I don't technically have a depth highlight on there. And that may just be the difference between the Gen 1 and the Gen 2s. And then it says select the amount of lake level drop by your number under depth max. And that would be the level that the lake has dropped. And it looks like, obviously, I don't have that options on the Gen 1. And this is a 2014 Navionics Platinum map. You can tell by the detail. So let me show you another option that you can do. Basically, the options you have to play with some viewable distinctions is either the safety depth contour or show depth contours. So my options are 60, 30, and 18 on the depth contours. My options on safety depth are 6, 18, 30, and 60. And it gives you a little bit of distinction, but it doesn't let it tailor to exactly the depth that you're targeting. And I don't technically have a water level offset. I can color things in shades of blue, and that's about it. And then if you want to use your shading, your photo overlay, you have to do it, you kind of have to tailor that because it takes away your blue shading when you put the surface overlay on there. So you can either mess with your photo transparency, and then you take away a little bit of the photo, or you can just overlay the land, but then you take away some of the shallow water cover you may want to see. So with the photo overlay, it's a little bit unfavorable with the shallow water alert because it takes away the shading. So if this helps any of you guys determine a little bit of your mapping functionality that you may weigh when you're choosing to purchase, hopefully this helps you. Again, this is an HDS8 GEN1 with a 2014 Navionics chip. And I do want to reference Bass Boat Central. There is a lot of information to resource for anglers. I use it a lot, and there's a lot of good helpful hints on there. So, thank you for watching.